So to start, what we do is what you probably do for your business right now. We built out several different resources. We call these lead magnets. And these lead magnets serve to attract leads to us, right? So as leads come into our business, what they'll do is they'll give us their email, they'll give us their name, and then sometimes they will give us their phone number. But I don't typically ask for phone numbers. Now, conceptually, from a business standpoint, that is because the more things you ask a person for on a form, the less likely they are to continue to fill it out. So you want to be very pointed. At any point that I have a potential customer coming in through a lead magnet, they would be considered what is called a cold lead. Now, what we have to do at that point is start to warm them up, right? So we do that by first providing them value. We're exchanging their details for this resource. So the key here is you need to make resources that are incredibly valuable to them. Now, you can do this inside the platform. We have several different ways, whether you are using our creating tools or you're building books, lots of different ways. We use a strategy that is actually adopted from a framework Mark came up with called the C.O.R.E strategies framework. Now, the C.O.R.E strategies framework, C.O.R.E is an acronym, and it stands for conversions, operations, retentions, and experiences. So let's dive into that. Conversions is all about bringing in leads, right? We're bringing in leads through lead magnets. We're bringing in leads through word of mouth, through repeat referral. We're bringing in leads through marketing efforts, through advertisements, or some other method that you use to bring in leads, right? Once we have these leads, we need to service them. So our operations, how does the business actually service that? And ultimately, what we're moving towards is the operational side in this specific training. But then once we have them serviced, they are going to be converted into customers, or they're going to stay as leads for a while. And then the experiences from the retentions side, we're keeping them as customers, we're building relationships with them, and we're turning them into past clients. We have experiences. Now, these experiences are actually kind of interwoven into all of the C.O.R.E strategies framework. And what they do is they help build better relationships with the leads. These leads become engaged leads. These engaged leads raise their hand that they're ready to be customers. And then once they're customers, we work to give them a really incredible past client experience or current client experience so that we can continue to engage. Now, it's worth noting, we work with real estate agents. So a lot of the fundamental focus is how can we help real estate agents build this into their business? But ultimately, if you understand the C.O.R.E strategies framework, you're going to understand something really powerful. So understanding the C.O.R.E strategies framework, what we do is we then start to apply that framework to our leads. So they raise their hand, they say, hey, what you've got is really interesting to me. I would like that. Some sort of resource, some sort of guidebook, how to, it's a playlist, a checklist, whatever it is. Maybe it's even a video training. And you're going to bring them in, but maybe they don't know you. Maybe they haven't engaged with you all that often, but they're still a lead. That's pretty great. But we're going to work to make them a warm lead. And then we're going to make those warm leads. We built a little bit more of a relationship with them. We're going to work to build those into engaged leads. This idea comes from a man by the name of Alex Hermosi. So the engaged lead is the person, they've received your resources, they've engaged with you somehow, you've worked to nurture and build a relationship, and then they've risen their hand and said, you know what, I would like what you are offering. Engaged lead, right? So now that we have our engaged lead, what we need to do is work to get some sort of action out of them. So the action that we specifically over here at Workflow Secrets are working to build out of them is for them to take a trial, right? So this is how they come in. They come into our company through a lead magnet. We work to make them an engaged lead, and then we drive them towards a trial of SAM. Now, once we've gotten this far, it has only just begun because, like I said before, they're in a trial. We've got 14 days with them to prove that we are the solution. And this is kind of the interview period. This is where we have to showcase to them that we are the company to get them results. And we have to do it really quickly. Now, there's a lot of ways to go about this, but the way that we have found to be the most effective is to do two things. One, we are going to work to onboard them, and we're working to basically answer all their questions they have before they even know that they were going to have them. That way, they have a solid foundation of what SAM can actually do for them. And the other thing that we're working to do is to prove that SAM is the right tool by actually getting them a result. And this result is actually getting into the system, actually using the system, and proving that it's user-friendly, it's easy to use, it's not too complex. Even if they're not super technical, there will be success in using this product. Now, in the CRM space, there are a lot of stats on how often folks leave CRMs. For a lot of real estate agents, their company or their broker will provide a CRM, and there's a lot of danger that comes with that. If a broker provides your CRM, but statistically, real estate agents change brokers every couple of years, your broker is going to keep your database. So a lot of folks will actually end up having two databases, the one that's provided and then their own personal database. So we have to prove to them, hey, if you're going to go through the trouble of having SAM on top of whatever tool you are already using, SAM is going to be the clear choice that you're going to go to. Now, ultimately, my personal goal is to get you using the system each and every day. That comes a little bit later as we build you into our community, which is a cultural experience that we can dive into a little bit later. So we have our lead magnet to build an engaged lead, and then we drive them into a SAM trial. This is where the fun begins. So the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to send them an email. And this email says, hey, welcome to SAM. We've got 14 days together. I've got something really fun for you. Now, this email that I have built out inside of here also has a video, and this video is working to humanize me a little bit and to showcase to them, hey, there's a real human that is going to be sending you messages, and they kind of get to know who I am. The reason for this is because each and every one of those emails introduces me. Hey, it's Cody. And so I want them to kind of know who I am. I want them to understand that we are working as a team. And once I've done that, I'm going to start something for them in this specific trial series.